What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today, very excited to check out Rumpelstilstkin from AEG. This is for 2 players, ages 10 plus. It'll take about 5 to 15 minutes to play. And in Rumpelstiltskin, you're going to be taking control of somebody, trying to guess your opponent's name, which is going to be a card at the bottom of the deck. You're going to be guessing those names by playing cards out of your hand. There's going to be guessing and a little bit of memorization and a whole bunch of luck in this game. It is in AEG's 5-minute fun micro games line. But is it good? I don't know. Let's open it up, check it out, and I'll tell you. Alright then, so we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Rumpelstiltskin. First and foremost, we have your handy dandy rule booklet. It is, 16 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations. It's a very well done rule booklet, even though I feel like it is a little bit long for how simple the game is, because I can probably teach you the game really quickly as well. You will need this once or twice and probably never need it again, so that's always a good thing as well. So in Rumpelstiltskin, we'll go over the components, we'll go over the gameplay. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to guess who your opponent's name, what your opponent's name is. Your opponent's name is going to be the card on the bottom card of their deck, because each of you are going to have 10 cards in your hand, or 10 cards in your deck. They will all be the same, and they will listed right here on your handy dandy little cheat card. And to be honest with you, you're going to be trying to guess what the name of the bottom card, but you're most likely just going to be looking at the numbers because that's way easier to try to remember it. We got a nice little setup on the back, and this is a very beneficial setup. You're also going to get these cubes right here. These are going to illustrate who won the round, and the first person to get 3 cubes, if you play a shorter game, is going to be the winner of the game. So I'll show you how the game is played, and then we'll go a little bit into the cards. So what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle up your cards, like so, and then you're going to draw the top 5 cards of your deck. So we have 5 cards. You're also going to secretly look at the bottom card of your deck, and this is your name. This is who you are. So I am Bootstrap. So the other person is going to try and guess who I am. Now they are also going to draw 5 cards from their hand, look at the bottom, so on and so forth. Wow, they're actually Bootstrap as well, oddly enough. So what you're going to do on your turn is you're going to look at your cards and you're going to decide to play one of your cards. Now, each of your cards is going to have a special ability. So let's look at some of the special abilities so you can get a feel for the game. So first, it says guess. That means you're just going to play this card down and you're going to guess one of the 10 cards right here. And you can potentially get it right in the very first guess. And if you get it right, then you win the round and you start a new round. So guess who they are. So I might say, all right, I think you're number 7. So I'd look. Well, they would look, and they'd say, nope, not number 7. And then I would continue on my merry way and do the rest of the card. If your opponent has the guess card in their hand, they must discard it. So at this point, this person's looking and saying, oh, man, I do have 7. That stinks. So now they have to discard this card, and that's a real big blow because now they can't play it. Also, that's free information that is on the table. So that would be my turn, and then this card would stay down here. So now that person now knows that 2 is not my name. So they go back to the 4 cards in their hand. They're not going to draw any new cards, because you're never going to draw any new cards unless a card tells you to do so, or unless you run out of cards in your hand. So let's see. I look at my hand and I say, all right, I know he's not 2. So yeah, we're going to play Noggin. So your opponent reveals 2 cards from their hand at random, and then I get the opportunity to guess. You're going to put that card right there, so now the other opponent player knows that I'm not 6 or 7, and they would randomly draw 2 cards. And they say, all right, 5 and 9. So now this person has a chance to guess, and he's like, all right, he's not 2, he's 5, not 5, he's not 9. So he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to guess that you're 7. And he'd look and he'd say, all right, nope, you're not right. I'm not 7, because as we know now, he is 1. This play would go back to this guy right here. And he'd say, okay, let's see. I know he's not 6. I know he's not 7. He'd look at his cards and he'd say, ooh, yeah, he's going to play Shenanigan. So this one is reveal the top 2 cards of any deck and then guess. So he'd take these 2 and he'd say, all right, 7 and 4 and 10. So he would now know he's not 4, he's not 6, he's not 7, he's not 10. And then he would say, all right, I think you are 1, Bootstrap. And he'd say, oh no, I am Bootstrap. But luckily, in his hand, he has 1 card which has the reaction down here. Now, there are 2 cards in each player's deck that says reaction. So he would immediately play this card and he'd say, all right, no, I'm going to play this card right here. And he would play the reaction. And how the reaction works is when you play it, this takes effect before the other player wins the game. So you generally want to play this when someone's about to win the game. So this guy was about to win the game, the red guy was about to win the game, but it says invert the order of any deck, so we would simply go like this, like that, like this, like that. And now you would have a new name, and that you say, oh, no, I'm not number 1. But that would also cause a problem because this guy just revealed the top 2 cards of his cards, so he would then still know he's Grok, which then adds this whole back and forth gameplay to it. So, despite the fact he used a reaction card, he would still have his next turn, and he really needs to get it right now. Yeah, so he might say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and play Drum Drum. So guess, if your opponent has the guess card in their hand, they must discard it. So he plays that down, and now he's like, alright, I'm just going to go with 5. He'd go with 5, and unfortunately it's not 5, so he'd say, nope, that's not 5. And this player, if he can remember, if he's remembered that Grok used to be on the top of the deck, would take his card, and he'd say, alright, I'm going to guess that you're Grok, and he'd say, oh, shoot, I am Grok, and then he would win the round because he does not have any more reaction cards right there. And at that point, you're going to take all 10 of your cards, you're going to shuffle them back up. This player would get one of these yellow cubes to symbolize they won a round, and then you would rinse, wash, and repeat. You're going to do that to the first player to win 3. If you want to play a longer game, you'll go to 5 cubes, and that, in a nutshell, is how Rumpelstiltskin is played. Alrighty then, Rumpelstilstkin from AEG. What are my final thoughts? Let's go to the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game is not going to be for everybody for a lot of reasons. In fact, this is not game's not going to be for a lot of people. First and foremost, it is 2 players. Very restricted player count. Even though I think you probably could play with more players if you had more copies of the game. And that would be interesting. I would like to see someone try that. But moving on. If you don't like trying to remember things in games, there is memorization in this game, trying to remember exactly what you saw and what you guessed and all that sort of stuff. So some people might not like that. There is also a lot of randomness in this game. Which cards come up, what cards people play on you, and which cards get shuffled in, and all that sort of stuff. So if you don't like the randomness in this game, that one might not be for you. Also, there is a lot of guessing in this game. There's a lot of blind guessing. Now, as you progress through the game, you will have more information to guess on, but if you don't like random guessing games, especially when you start the game, this one might not be for you. The main con I have with this game, though, is, and this is not a con of me personally, but some people that I played it with, one person in particular, was that the game can be over in 10 seconds. The round can be over in 10 seconds. Let me rephrase that. What I mean by that is literally you can draw up to 5 cards, look at the bottom card of your deck, say, I'm going to play a guess 2, I think you're number 1 or you're number 2. The person will look down and say, oh, shoot, I am number 2. They'll look at their hand. If they don't have a reaction card, the game or the round is over. Literally, 10 seconds. Not hyperbole. The round can be over in 10 seconds. And that is going to drive some people absolutely freaking crazy. And it's going to feel cheap sometimes. Other cons that I have with the game is that, personally, I kind of wish this was in a pouch. I wish they would have maybe knocked the price point down $5 or something like that and put it in a pouch like their Love Letters series, their Ciphers, Engine, Empire Engine, all that kind of stuff. Because the bottom line is you're only getting 22 cards and 5 cubes in a rule booklet, so I don't understand why they didn't put it in like a nice green pouch instead of in a box. But some people, I'm sure, like the box instead of the pouch, so that really is more of a nitpick than anything else. Any more cons I have with the game? Not really. You pretty much know by now if this game is going to be for you. If you're on the fence, you're like, it's probably not going to be for you. If you're looking at it, you're like, then this one probably will be for you. Because overall, I got to tell you, on the pro side, Rumpelstiltskin, really enjoyable game. 4 out of 5 people that I played it with really enjoyed the game. Now, the one person didn't, he really hated it because of that fact you can lose in 10 seconds. But everybody else was like, it's light, it's quick, it's fun, and they enjoyed that. So what do I personally like about the game? First and foremost, this is one of those games where I can have it out of the box and I can teach it in a minute. And that is always a good thing, especially in a micro game. I feel like this is a really, really great, you got a couple minutes to kill kind of game, like your zombie dice, or a restaurant game. This is a great restaurant game because it is also very portable, especially if you take it out of the box, which in itself isn't that large as well. I also like the artwork, and I like the theme to a degree. I feel like the theme really fits, like the Rumpelstiltskin. You're trying to guess the bottom card of the deck, so that is kind of cool. And if you role play, it does make it a little bit more fun. But at the same time, when you really start to look at the theme and deeply examine it, you're like, wait, who am I playing as? Are we both Rumpelstiltskin? Are we elves, or are we people, or what the heck is going on? But to be honest with you, by the time you even start to overanalyze the game at that point, the game will probably be over, and you'll move on to something else, and so it really won't matter. So AEG from Rumpelstiltskin, flip that one around. I really enjoyed this game. It's a really enjoyable 2-player, extremely light micro game, and I feel like the biggest thing that I like about this game, and the biggest point that I have about this game, is, in my personal opinion, the length of the game, the shortness of the game, how quick this game goes from teaching to playing covers up a lot of the deficiencies in this game. If this game were 5 minutes longer, I don't think I would like it nearly as much as I do. But the bottom line is, it says it's 5 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes if you're going super slow and you go to 5 rounds. But other than that, really super quick, super solid. That's Rumpelstilstkin from AEG. If you were in the market for a 2-player light micro game, be sure to check this one out. I can definitely recommend this one. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, and then in the comments below, let me know who is your favorite politician. For me personally, I really was not thinking about this one. I guess I like Barack Obama. He's a pretty cool guy. You know what? I'm trying to think of who I'd like to hang out with. You know what? I'd like to hang out with Bill Clinton. That seems to be the obvious answer. He's not too terribly busy at this point in his life. I bet he's got some absolutely fantastic stories. Actually, George Bush would be great to hang out with because he owns a freaking baseball team. At least he used to, and I love baseball. No, I gotta go with Bill Clinton. I would love to exchange stories, hang out with Bill Clinton. Plus, the bottom line is, you can go wherever you want. Like Bill Clinton, like you have Bill Clinton with you. You can go wherever the heck you want. I'm babbling. I'd pick Bill Clinton. No. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. That was the review for Rumpelstiltskin. For more reviews and previews, check back at Bauer's Game Corner.